So let's talk about tefillin now. There's many kinds of tefillin, okay? And there is all kinds of different customs. Let's take it step by step. First of all, there's the basic halacha of that is decided like Rashi. Put on tefillin of Rashi. Okay? What does it mean, the tefillin of Rashi? So it's a certain order of how to put the parshiot inside of the tefillin. And okay. So now, after you get to the understanding that you need tefillin of Rashi, so now you have to ask, so what kind of tefillin of Rashi? So there's Sfaradi, Ashkenazi, Hasidish. Okay. So you have to define yourself. Who are you? And for some people it's easier. Some people it's very hard for them. Different reasons why. I'm not going into that discussion right now. So let's take the assumption that you got to the clarity of who are you, what kind of tefillin of Rashi you want to wear. And now, there's many people that you see around you that are putting on tefillin of Rabbeinu Tam. And you ask yourself, why to do that? What's the reason? What is the benefit of putting on tefillin of Rabbeinu Tam? Okay, so right now, the difference physically between the Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam, whatever, it's the order of the parshiot inside again. But I'm not it's not really the point here. The question is why to spend another, few thousands of shekels to get a good pair of Rabbeinu Tam? You already did your obligation. You did the tefillin of Rashi. So there's no obligation of putting Rabbeinu Tam according to the simple halacha, but in the Kabbalah it's very meaningful. The Arizal is speaking about it. But even though the Arizal speaks about it and it's very important according to Kabbalah, but in my tradition of Kabbalah, it is right after you get married. Okay? I'm not saying for people that they want to buy for themselves Rabbeinu Tam, I wouldn't tell them not to buy Rabbeinu Tam because they are not married yet. But if you ask me, I would say that wait until you're married and then put on Rabbeinu Tam. Okay? There is definitely a big custom like that, and that's also the guidance that I got. I personally did Rabbeinu Tam before I got married. Okay? I was, in a certain point of my life, I was learning in Chabad Kollel in Melbourne, Australia, and in Chabad, everybody putting on Rabbeinu Tam, also the young boys. Bar mitzvah boy is getting 2 sets of tefillin, Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam. And so I did my Rabbeinu Tam very early, but and I don't regret it. Okay, but now when I have my tradition of the Kabbalah Yeshiva or Betel, I would say to wait until you get married. And even after you get married, it's not so simple, because in the Shulchan Aruch, the pshat of the halacha, it's only someone that is is known to be righteous in his place and time wherever he is. Otherwise, it looks like his pride. But I think that today it doesn't look like pride, because you see that many people that are simple people, they are putting on Rabbeinu Tam. So there is different ways of putting the Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam. So for example, myself, I'm doing according to the result, so I have a set of small Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam that I put together in the same time in the morning. So this is a little bit another step of having those small tefillin and to put them together, so that someone that is making a decision that is going in the way of the Kabbalah, of the Arizal, and the Rashash, so then he's putting on this way of tefillin together, Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam together. But most of the people, as you see around you, they have just one tefillin at a time, if they're putting Rabbeinu Tam at all. So it will be usually after they finish to pray. So they take out the Rashi and they put on the Rabbeinu Tam. They say another time Kriyat Shema or learning something with it, and that's usually what most of the people do. And obviously there is different ways how to look at it, how to explain it. But to make it simple, the understanding is that it gives you another spiritual level. Okay, so you're putting on the talit, you're putting on the tefillin, you get to a certain spiritual level. If you have Rabbeinu Tam, you have another spiritual level. So it's good. for whoever is interested in this exploration journey that we spoke about before, so that's part of the journey. Okay. I'm not saying that everybody have to get their Rabbeinu Tam as soon as possible, but I do recommend to have it in this time or another time in your life. And after you have Rashi and Rabbeinu Tam, so then there's another level, according to the Arizal, which is called Shimush Rabbah, which is those big tefillin that you see me sometimes in those classes, that I'm praying Mincha with it, and then whatever I'm doing after the Mincha or before the Mincha. So sometimes I have the tefillin on. And the Shimush Rabbah is the way that the Arizal that was his conclusion of to pray Mincha with Shimush Rabbah. So whoever is following the Arizal, Rashash, so to have the Shimush Rabbah tefillin for the Mincha, that's another stage on the tefillin journey. And obviously, besides of the physical act of buying and putting them on, so there's a whole world of meditations for the tefillin. And then there's like meditations of Rashi, meditation of Rabbeinu Tam, meditation of Shimush Rabbah. So Bezrat Hashem, take it one step at a time. Whatever it is that you're able to do as your next step, do your next step. And see where Hashem is leading you for the next steps of your journey. ברוך ה' לעולם, אמן ואמן.